If you missed my last two videos, I've been covering the third DLC map pack for Infinite Warfare called Absolution. Activision recently flew me out to capture this content early, and I've covered two maps so far, FORE and PERMAFROST, which just so happen to be my least favorite ones. Today's video covers my absolute favorite map from the DLC called Ember. It's no surprise why this is my favorite, as it's a remade version of the Modern Warfare 3 map Resistance. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of Modern Warfare 3, mostly because it's the game where I had my lowest KD ratio to date, but I sure did play the hell out of it regardless. I remember the map Resistance not being on the top of my favorite lists, but it was the first map I ever got a Moab on in that game, so it definitely holds a fond place in my heart. The map description for this map is as follows. Remake of Resistance from Modern Warfare 3. Techno-Renaissance architecture that takes place in a post-apocalyptic future where the surrounding areas are smoldering ruins. I couldn't help but show some footage from Modern Warfare 3's map here. It's absolutely astonishing how beautiful this remake actually is when you compare it to the source material. Now granted, I'm well aware that the PS4 is leaps and bounds better graphically than the PS3, but I definitely love the Renaissance architecture they redid this map with. Now for those wondering, it seems to be 100% identical to the Modern Warfare 3 version. Everything should be exactly how you remember it. Unfortunately, this was the first map we played at the capture event, and they didn't announce it was a remastered map when we played it. Since this was my first Infinity Ward capture event, I was already nervous to begin with, but there were developers and other people spectating us play, so I was then even more nervous. I didn't do too horrible the first game, but I was completely lost. I had no indications whatsoever that this was a map I had played before, and after we played it, Ashton Williams, the community manager, wanted to know if we recognized the map. It was at this point that I went into the map description and saw that it was a remake. It's funny how things like this click, but the next time we played it, I knew exactly where I was at all times, where to anticipate enemies, and where to go for some hot spots. It all came flooding back into my memory, and it made the map 10 times more enjoyable. So if you haven't played the original map before, this is a medium to large size map. If I had to pick a preference when it comes to weapons, I'd say this is definitely a sniping map due to a lot of the great long lines of sights. The map has crowded streets along with many buildings that can offer close quarters combat. And, as mentioned, there's plenty long lines of sights that favor guns with longer range. One thing that has changed, thankfully, are all the exploding cars. In Modern Warfare 3's version of this map, almost all the vehicles would serve as death traps as they would detonate if one fired at them. In this version, the setting is in the Renaissance, so all the vehicles are turned into buggies, or other non-futuristic and thus non-exploding objects. I don't remember the spawns ever being an issue in the Modern Warfare 3 version, but during the capture event, one YouTuber was going absolutely ham and nearly dropped a deatomizer strike on my team. At one point, he mopped up my entire team, and I felt as if we all instantly spawned directly in front of him, and he immediately cleaned us all up again. This only happened one time though, so hopefully it's not an issue with the spawns. He proceeded to go on a 20+ streak, but I got a lucky shot on him and I ended it. Ashton Williams was cheering him on, and everyone yelled real loud when his streak came to an abrupt end. Needless to say, he wasn't too happy. But he didn't know that it was me at the time, so I guess I lucked out. Now visually, this map is absolutely gorgeous. Again though, comparing it to the original map isn't very fair, but the attention to detail they put in regard to the Renaissance architecture is incredible. As a quick comparison, in the original Modern Warfare 3 map, this room was a living room of sorts with a fireplace and a sofa, and adjacent to it is a small kitchen area. Now in this remade version on Ember, they turned the living room into a jail cell area, and the adjacent kitchen area now looks to be some sort of pre-torture room, as you can see the wooden stocks where the criminals put their heads in when they used to throw rotten fruit at you. And there's even an axe there too. Now maybe it's just me, but the original map was just a modern day city, so this Renaissance theme definitely spices things up a bit. So overall, as I mentioned earlier, this was my favorite map in the map pack, but part of that reason might just be the nostalgia talking. If you haven't played Modern Warfare 3's version before, you may not enjoy this map at all, or at least it'll take some warming up to first. Once you get the hang of it though, you'll definitely appreciate the older Call of Duty aspect it has about it.
drunk. Moving. Enemy USB in your vicinity. We dropped the drone. We've acquired the drone. The enemy has the drone. Enemy USB in your vicinity. Enemy dropped the drone. Enemy dropped the drone. Enemy USB. Enemy dropped the drone. Friendly drone support is active. Enemy dropped the drone. Friendly has the satellite drone. Drone package loaded up and waiting for you. The satellite is back in play. UAV ready. A counter UAV standing by. We've acquired the satellite. Enemy has the satellite. Vulture at the ready. UAV ready. Counter UAV waiting to launch. You're advanced UAV